Internet, hello, you absolute lovelies. We had a slight delay in the live stream this week. I usually go live Wednesdays, but I waited till Spider-Man Day, and I am oh so glad I did. This is a weekly live show talking about all of the biggest news in comics as well as the comic books themselves. And today, we got the biggest Spider-Man news in quite some time. Spider-Man Brand New Day won't just feature the Hulk as rumored with Mark Ruffalo reprising the role. It won't just feature Punisher, making it the first time John Bernthal is in a theatrical Punisher movie. Like, the Punisher hasn't been in a movie off TV in a movie since 2008. Not only are we getting Charlie Cox as Daredevil, which some of us hoped and assumed with the Punisher confirmation, but we are also finally finishing the tease of Scorpion with Michael Mando reprising his role as Mac Gargan for the first time since Spider-Man Homecoming. We are not just getting a street level film. We're getting a full on spectacle. How do you top No Way Home? This is how. Going to be talking about that a lot in this episode. That is the biggest news in quite some time. Very excited to dive in on this Spider-Man Day. Also going to be talking about X-Men, my other favorite comic book universe. Spider-Man and X-Men are what I grew up on. Man, oh man, are things heating up. X-Men director has some quotes to say. Casting seems to be underway. Got some theories there. Going to be talking about that. Also, going to be talking about the insanity of the 1-2 punch of Superman and Fantastic Four, diving into some box office goodness. Going to be talking about the insanity of the Variety 54 Marvel property list. And then at the end, talking a little bit about Ryan Coogler's Black Panther 3 heating up, as well as the potential no Blade or Deadpool for a little while. And then this show is This Week in Comics. We're going to be talking about my favorite comics for the week of July 16th, a little bit behind, as well as previewing the comics that dropped this week, July 30th. So my favorite comics from the 16th, the previewing the comics from this week, and then all of that Spider-Man news. So if you're new to this page, I cover lots of comic books. I love them. I read 50 to 70 comics a week, and I break down my favorite 9 for you every single week on this show. I also cover movies and TV, but on this particular show, I bring you guys the news from the comic book lens. And if you're new to this page, now is a good time to subscribe because I'm doing a 50 comic giveaway. We just hit 50,000 subscribers. And in honor of that, I'm going to be mailing 50 comics of mine to one of you. Probably going to be figuring out how I'm going to find that person of the 50,000 in the next week. So I'm hoping to do the giveaway mid-August. So very soon, within the next week or two, mailing out some comics to you lovelies. But first, let's talk Spider-Man Brand New Day. Also, any super chat, I promise you I will get to every single super chat. So if you guys want a question, by all means, please get it in there. But let's talk Spider-Man Brand New Day. I was going to go live at 3, had to push the 3:15 because this news broke at like 2:30. Just saw it, wanted to talk to you. So I think what is going to happen is we are still getting a Mr. Negative because that is a character that has been teased for quite some time. And Mr. Negative was very popular in the video game and is very popular in the modern Spider-Man villain mythos. Most of Spider-Man's biggest rogues are, 80s and earlier. Venom and Carnage were, the biggest in the 90s. And then there was a ton in the Silver Age, Steve Ditko and Stan Lee in the 60s. In that first couple of years, they gave us the Murderer's Row of like Mysterio, Green Goblin, Kraven. There was Sandman. Like the first 20 or so issues are like Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. Obviously, that's being very simple. There's a lot more that have come since. But overall, the 60s were like the height of villain introductions. 80s, 90s brought us some more. Little dry after that. I would say Mr. Negative and a few others are the exceptions to the rule. And Mr. Negative is a character I think suits what I think this story is going to be. We have for a long time wanted a street level Spider-Man. Today, we were teased with the raised webbing on the suit. I think that tease, one, is great marketing. It's Spider-Man Day, and we're a year out from the release. This movie comes out July 31st. But two, it is showing us, hey, this isn't going to be a mech suit. This isn't going to be Iron Spider. This isn't going to be what we've seen for the last 3 films. We are getting the Spider-Man movie I think we've all been waiting for. I love No Way Home. I'm not one of those people that weirdly went, oh, it got really popular and huge. I hate it now. It's all nostalgia, blah, blah, blah. That movie is beautiful. It uses our fondness for characters to tell a story of Uncle Ben that we didn't get. It uses our love for certain characters to shape the origin of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think it does it wonderfully. I'm not one of the people that doesn't like that movie. I adore that movie. I, however, see Spider-Man as a friendly neighborhood character. I see Spider-Man as a street level character. And I love that this does not seem to be him going to Europe or space. This to me is going to be Mr. Negative coming into the neighborhood, maybe trying to take over a power vacuum with certain Mayor Fisk situation, being the mayor and not being at home as much. And I think what's going to happen is Mr. Negative is going to be able to corrupt the Hulk. And we're going to open with Punisher and Spider-Man teaming up to take on the Hulk. And then we reveal who the actual villain is, Mr. Negative. I think in that we get a lot of opportunity for Scorpion to get his time to shine as a henchman, for him to get his time to shine as basically the character who is working for Mr. Negative, or he's above him, but I would imagine he's more the henchman level. Guys, I am hearing that Daredevil was not confirmed, which would make it the second time in 2 weeks. I could have sworn I read on the Hollywood Reporter that Charlie Cox was coming back. If he's not, I apologize. I literally read the article and went live, but maybe he's not. I don't have time because I'm already live to get the confirmation, but maybe Daredevil is still a rumor. I apologize deeply if that's the case. I did not write the article. I read it very quickly. So let's go confirming. Oh, the article I did read had it confirmed. Okay, I thought I saw Daredevil. I'm not crazy. It has since been deleted. Guys, I'm not crazy. That is what I read. It has since been deleted. I apologize for the pivot. I did not read it again. I read it the one time. So we are confirming Hulk, Scorpion, Bernthal. We are confirming first Punisher appearance in a movie theater since 2008. We are confirming to have Hulk be actually in this film. So I stand by my Mr. Negative ideas. I don't know if there's going to be a potential to have Daredevil and Kingpin. They claim they're illegal things, keeping it from TV, not into movies. We have obviously had Daredevil in a movie with No Way Home. I think we'll end up seeing them. I think they're holding on to that. I think they're waiting to keep some things close to the vest. I did see Daredevil. I was very excited. I still think it's true. But I am very excited that we are finally getting Scorpion. That's the big thing for me. As excited as I am to see the newest in the trilogy of, quadrilogy now. We had him team up with Iron Man. Iron Man's not in the movie in the first one as much as people remember, but he's impactful. But he did get some moments of friendly neighborhoodness, but it has been a while since we've had that tone. In the second film, we had the Nick Fury element to make that Marvel tie-in. In the third film, we had Benedict Cumberbatch with that Marvel tie-in as Doctor Strange. Now in this film, we are getting Bruce Banner. Now, I'm intrigued because I'm wondering if there's going to be more science elements, finally getting some Peter Parker science beats with Bruce Banner, something I've wanted to see. I'm curious if it's going to be more Hulk-centric, him, corrupted by Mr. Negative, who I still think is going to be in this somewhere, basically breaking Banner and turning into Rage Hulk. Rage Hulk being something a lot of us have wanted to see for quite some time. Rage Hulk being, a character that is how most of us think is the Hulk, not just Professor Hulk. I think that's going to be the direction they take. And then we get Punisher, maybe Daredevil, teaming up to take on either Hulk or the villain of the movie, which we now know is Scorpion going to be involved. All of that, very excited. I've been wanting Michael Mando to get his time to shine since the first film. It's been a very long time. I am very excited to see, all of this, man. This is so exciting. I'm very excited for Destin Daniel Cretton's directing. The way he directed the action and choreography in Shang-Chi is genius. I'm so stoked. This seems like the Spider-Man movie I have always waited for. I love the Amazing Spider-Man couple of films. Andrew Garfield never got the writing he deserved. They had too many subplots. There was a lot wrong with them. I like the original Raimi trilogy quite a bit, but it definitely isn't how I see Spider-Man when I read the comics. Tobey Maguire is not how I see Spider-Man personally. I think those are great films, but that's just not how I read the character. Tom Holland has always been right there, wanting to play the character like I see him, and they've done an amazing job incorporating him into the MCU. But I'm so excited to see him outside of moving the MCU plot along and hopefully getting to have some of his own time in this brand new day. In the comic books, Brand New Day was an opportunity to kind of clean up continuity and make it so we weren't as beholden to having ever read, 600 issues prior. It was trying to hearken to a Silver Age sensibility. It brought us a lot of iconic villains. It was able to make Spider-Man feel fresh and accessible. To me, this title isn't just a play on the One More Day concept that ended No Way Home. But Brand New Day does feel like it's going to do what the comics did, which is give us a fresh take while using iconic Spider-Man moments. This is everything I've wanted. So to clarify from the beginning, Daredevil, still a rumor because the article I read that confirmed him was since deleted and changed to Hulk, Punisher, Scorpion being confirmed. Daredevil, I'm still assuming is going to be in it. Mr. Negative, not confirmed. That is my assumption, being very clear from a news standpoint. Scorpion, Michael Mando, very, very excited to see that, especially after Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man did such a good job with the character. I think your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's tone, that animated series that dropped, is what I want to see more of from Spider-Man. It's one of my favorite MCU properties of the last 10 years. I think Scorpion in that is exceptional. I also think the way they made Tombstone very relevant, credible, and modern is a really cool opportunity for someone like a Mr. Negative. It's really cool when you can kind of warm people up to these ideas. I think X-Men 97 leading up to X-Men, also a great opportunity there. So I am very, very excited. Please let me know in the comments what you lovelies think. Please let me know if you guys are excited. And I promise you, any super chats I will absolutely answer. But I'm also going to try to go back to the live chat and scroll. There's about 200 of you in here. Not going to be able to get to every live chat, but I am going to try. So any super chats you guys get, I will jump on between news stories. And thank you for 200 of you being in here. Press that like. Let's get that like higher. I appreciate it very, very much. All right. Over from Spider-Man. Any Spidey questions you got, I will answer at the end. I would recommend you lovelies read. One, I think they're going to do the Amazing Spider-Man 129 cover, that iconic Punisher with Spider-Man in the scope. I would recommend reading that first appearance of Spider-Man. Of Punisher. It holds up pretty well. I would also recommend reading some of the Spectacular Spider-Man, not Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man with Scorpion on the cover. It's in like the 240s. It has some really cool humanization of Scorpion while making him still a very clear villain. I would recommend that for Scorpion. Almost every Daredevil Spider-Man team up is fantastic. And then as far as Spider-Man and Hulk, it's usually like a battle of wills and wits, and I don't have any issues to pull directly off the dome. But read some comics. This is very exciting. Read Brand New Day. It's very long. Not all of it's good, but it's going to give you a sense of tone and flavor that I think Destin Daniel Cretton's going for. So it is out exactly a year from yesterday, July 31st. Today's Spider-Man Day is 1st, July 31st next year. We get Spider-Man. That is a hell of a turnaround. So I think that's why they're getting all this information out. We're going to start to see a lot of leaks and people on set. And I think it was really smart to show us the suit. Hopefully they show us an official look at the suit before it gets leaked on set with outdoor photography, but time will tell. I'm still fighting to get my voice back from 6 months of Superman, a month of Fantastic Four coverage, and going into San Diego Comic-Con. I've not stopped talking in months. Apologies if I cough and sound rough. I'm doing my best. All right, let's dive into the next bit of news, which is let's talk about X-Men. X-Men is likely casting soon. X-Men seems to be something coming out right after, not before, Secret Wars. It seems like to me, Doomsday is going to lead right into Secret Wars, and Secret Wars is going to clean up continuity, and we're going to launch a new universe, picking and choosing which characters are going to be in that new universe, including the X-Men. That said, I could see some X-Men appearing in things leading up to an X-Men movie. Jake Schreier, the director of Thunderbolts, is confirmed to direct X-Men, and it makes sense if that timeline is, say, 2026 Doomsday and Brand New Day, and then 2027 Secret Wars. I could see X-Men in 2028, 2029. It is already halfway through 2025. We're in the back half of this year. I would bet some casting starting very soon, with hopefully a Hall H presentation next year at Comic-Con with some big X-Men announcements, maybe bringing the cast out a la Avengers, having some big stuff. I think that'd be really cool. I could also see an X-Men or two maybe appearing post-credits or during as a character in Brand New Day. Now, that all said, it is very cool to hear Jake Schreier start to talk about this world now that he's been confirmed as directing it. He said, quote, "This will be recognizably different from previous franchise iterations," saying that the core idea of what X-Men is involved complexity. It's an incredible opportunity with super interesting characters and so much internal conflict. These characters are wrestling with their identity and place in the world. That's inherently an interesting and complex material. I totally agree. I think it is a good idea to save the X-Men for a later down the line storyline. We have in the MCU largely characters that are unmasked, that are largely public facing. I think a world that hates and fears them is coming. I think Miss Marvel started to set that tone. I think Thunderbolts is starting to set some distrust. I think Spider-Man might as well. And I think after the events of Secret Wars, we may enter a world where heroes aren't as beloved and trusted, allowing us to have a little bit different tone of X-Men. That said, in the comic books, Avengers are always revered, X-Men are always hated. It's big commentary on othering. So there could still be a world where heroes are treated like they are in the current MCU and X-Men are still kind of ostracized. That said, I still want to make sure, much like X-Men 97, these young people and 20 somethings and 30 somethings, depending on what they do with the teacher class, like the professor level mutants, I want to see those kids in the modern world dealing with the world today. Right now, as ever, but seemingly a lot more vocal. Right now, everyone is feeling othered and pressured and ostracized. I think it's a really good time for X-Men. I think a world that hates and fears them, of people feeling like they don't belong, is a eternal conversation. But I would love to see modern teens get the opportunity to identify with these characters, just as I did when I was growing up reading them. I would love the opportunity for a new wave of young, cast members to get to play these iconic characters, not us associating them forever with those amazing 2000s actors. So I think it's a really beautiful thing to have the swan song of all of those actors in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then brand new cast members. Now, my curiosity is it going to be, he describes it as very different than prior versions of the franchise. I could see there being a lot of the X-Men we know and love as professors and a new set of giant size X-Men era X-Men as the students. It'd be really interesting to see Cyclops and Jean maybe as professors, but I would also love to finally get them in the young, starting and growing up with them first class like we were supposed to before Bryan Singer came back and made it that era again. So I could easily see this being a 1962 first five plus Xavier, but then also adding in like Storm, hopefully Nightcrawler, those characters. Or I could see it being the OGs we know as teachers raising a new crop of young students and using modern fan favorites. Either way, it's very interesting. That's going to be taking a different direction. It's going to be trying new things. It's going to be markedly different than the old franchise. I just hope I hope we don't get Wolverine until the second or third movie, or we get a Wolverine show. And that what I would do is I would do a period piece Wolverine show, and each season is a different decade. And then that way the actor, whoever he is in his 20s, 30s, looks the same throughout the decades. And then he joins the modern day. And that way we get Wolverine his own time to shine, but we also get the X-Men without being Wolverine and the X-Men, like so many people associate him with. And that gives the actor replacing Hugh Jackman some serious time to become his own man and form his own Wolverine. And then by the time he joins the X-Men, we have association with the character separate. But that's another longer conversation. Maybe if you guys want comments, I'll make that video. My X-Men pitch. I've got a whole thing of the two-prong attack I would do to bring us X-Men and keeping Wolverine separate, but also tying him into the universe, tying him into the adamantium of Captain America, all those things. But that's another video. This is excitement of the Jake Schreier quotes and the fact that we're likely casting soon. They are apparently looking at casting relative unknowns to keep the cost down, not looking at giant A-listers. I think that's smart. One, there isn't a lot of, under 20 giant movie stars right now. I think the youngest movie star era being mid-20s, Chalamet and Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh is already in the MCU. As good as I think Chalamet would be as Nightcrawler, that's who I'd cast him as. I think there are other options to keep costs down. I'd love to see Austin Butler as Gambit, but I don't think they're going to go that direction because they're going to be casting so many people and they're going to want to tie them in for 10 years or more. I don't know if Austin Butler is going to want to be tied to a cinematic universe for that long. I don't know if we are going to get Margaret Qualley as Rogue for a long period of time. So they might go more unknown and more young. So that we'll see as well. So to summarize, the Jake Schreier talking about wanting it to be different from the old franchise, the rumor being they're going to cast not A-listers, go younger. All of that is happening as we speak. I'm very excited about all of it. All right, let's answer some questions, you lovelies. Super chat round one, and then we're going to do some more news, and I'll come back, and then at the end we'll do comics themselves. Connor Mullis with the super chat saying, Gorky, It's Friday. Lawn is mowed. Beer is cracked. Let's get it. Thanks for making my day better on here and on Capes and Cowls. I appreciate you. Connor Mullis, I appreciate you very much. I'm glad you have all your fingers, all your toes. Glad lawn mowing went well. I'm glad you're back in here with me for the second live stream of the day. Capes and Cowls dropped this morning. This news hadn't dropped, so go ahead and check that out as well. You lovelies over on Christian Harloff's channel. Thank you very much, Connor Mullis. Next super chat is going to be from Connor Mullis again, which I appreciate. Thanks, man. We've got my girlfriend got Morrison's Doom Patrol Omni for my birthday. I love it. It's pure madness in the best way possible. She also got me the boys' whole series for Christmas. With that said, it's ring shopping time. Yeah, you know what? It is absolutely. Ben Grimm has clobber in time. You've got ring shopping time. That is a keeper, good sir. Morrison's Doom Patrol is exceptional. I do believe the boys series is very different from the show. I like the show a little bit more, but it is a fun, separate journey that you get to experience something brand new with the insanity of Ennis and Robertson's art. Holy crap, what a time you're in for. She is a keeper. Excellent work. Connor Mullis, thank you for the super chat, and thank you to your soon-to-be fiance for being awesome. We appreciate her in here as well. Dan V900, thank you very much, good sir. Dan V says, I was excited to hear Feige say brand new day is street level. Yes, so was I, but wish Hulk wasn't in it. Doesn't feel as street level. THR said it'd be Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hulk fighting each other until they figure out the bad guy. I think that's exactly what it is. I think the Daredevil was also really in it. But I also think Hulk can be street level if they make him a rage monster destroying the city. I think there is some sort of contract where there has to be a big MCU character in with Spider-Man in order to have that Sony Marvel deal keep going. I don't know what the deal is. I'm just assuming here because of Iron Man, Nick Fury, and Doctor Strange. I assume they need someone new to make it like a Marvel team up. But that's all conjecture because think about it. Punisher is a Netflix character. And then Scorpion is from the Sony Universe Spider-Man from Homecoming. So I think it is maybe something that they needed. And I love the idea of Mr. Negative, if my theory is correct, being something that corrupts Hulk back into Rage Hulk, less Professor Hulk, which is also something people have wanted. And that would also make the Hulk a rage monster just in time for Doomsday, because this is the only thing that drops between now and Doomsday. Last time we saw Hulk, he was family man, professor mode. I think it's time to get that man rageful again. So those are my theories. Time will tell. Thank you very much, Dan V900. I appreciate that very much. Vonnie T. Thank you, Vonnie T. Mr. Negative symbol on tanks on the set of Brand New Day. I'm calling it. I'm shooting my shot. I did not know that until this moment. I feel very sure. Now I feel certain. Thank you very much, man. I was lucky to be there today in Glasgow. That's amazing. Thank you for your great content and comic suggestions. Guys, I didn't know that Mr. Negative symbol was there. I just know that Feast, the organization that Aunt May ran, was mentioned very strongly in No Way Home. Feast is often tied directly to Mr. Negative, someone moving in to take over that organization as well as take over a certain organized crime organization because Kingpin's mayor seems to write itself. That's what I would do. Bonnie T, thank you for the heads up. I'm jealous you're in Glasgow. I've always wanted to go. Hope it's lovely. I'm going to visit one day. I appreciate this super chat very much. Connor Mullis. Seriously, though, can peas suck? You know what? Connor Mullis, they're not great. They're not awful, but they're not great. Let's agree there. All right. And then we got another. I think we're caught up. Vision Quest is filming. I just saw the most recent live chat. Yes, indeedy. Hopefully coming out next year. All right, let's get to the next bit of news. We have talked all sorts of X-Men. We have talked all sorts of Spider-Man. Now let's talk all sorts of broad MCU future. This is just a little note I read 4 days ago. I saw something saying that Mahershala Ali was excited. He's still playing Blade. Things are moving forward. And then yesterday I saw an article that said there is, quote, no sense of urgency for either Blade or a new Deadpool film. I personally think Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds are going to be popping up as like characters in movies for a little while before we see any more Deadpool. I think there is a possibility we only see him in Team Dynamics after his trilogy. Blade, I could see them waiting until after Secret Wars, a little cleaner continuity, a little less mess. It's a bummer. I think Mahershala would have been a great Blade. I don't know if he still will be, but I think it makes sense. They're not trying to rush things out. They're trying to make them all quality. Time will tell if that goes down. But I just thought that was interesting, the conflicting reports. But on the other side of that, Ryan Coogler's Black Panther 3 is apparently gaining a lot of steam over at Marvel, making some serious moves. I still hear the Denzel Washington role is everything from a tiny role to the lead. I still hear Damson Idris might be Black Panther himself. All of this is just word on the street. All this is conjecture until they get an actual announcement. I got nothing, but I'm excited about the potential of getting a Black Panther 3. My curiosity is I think that movie would come out in February of 2028. So 2026, Brand New Day and Doomsday. 2027, mysterious date, as well as Secret Wars. And then 3 months after Secret Wars, because Secret Wars got moved to November 2027, Secret Wars. 3 months later, I think that's when we get Black Panther 3. I'm wondering if we get a new T'Challa in Secret Wars and we start the universe with X-Men and Black Panther. That could be something, especially with how beloved the character is, especially with mourning and honoring Chadwick, having him be our universes, give us a new one in a new universe. I could see there being a Black Panther movie very much in that February release date. That is very much Black Panther. It made $1 billion. And then I could also see that being a launching point for the new universe and that potentially being the Damson Idris Truma. Time will tell. We will see. I believe that is all we have for news and rumors, but I did want to say Fantastic Four box office came in at 118 domestic, 218 global. I think we need to reframe personally how we see box office post-pandemic, post-strike, current not recession. Current things are rough. The dollar's worth 7 cents. But I think it's hard for people to make it to the movies financially. And I think there is also a programming happening where people are like, well, I'll wait 30 days and it'll be on streaming. We need to work on the streaming problem. We need to work on the box office window problem. And we need to work on money existing problem. But I think in a long enough timeline, we can get back to a stronger box office. I do think for now, $500 million, getting out of the black, getting into the black, making a profit, getting out of the red into the black. I think we should work on movie budgets some. I know that's been discussed. I know that's not new math and new science, but I do think billion-dollar movies are going to be more and more rare. I think we're going to see them mainly with children's franchises that are huge IP, that are repeat viewing, that are bring 10 people to the movie, the whole friends and family. I don't know how often we'll get billion-dollar superhero films anymore, especially with how things are. So I'm excited that Fantastic Four did as well internationally as it did. It made 100 million internationally, 118 domestic. Good solid numbers, 218 global. Superman has passed 300 domestic and 500 global, doing great numbers. It's the highest, most successful Superman film, not adjusted for inflation, but passing that $500 million mark. I wanted both these films to hit $1 billion. I don't think either one of them will. I was very hopeful for Jurassic, Superman, and Fantastic to all clear $1 billion. I think Jurassic may eke it out, but even that I don't think is a guarantee. So crazy how much things change when you stop releasing movies in theaters and you tell people just watch it in streaming in a month. But yeah, I'm hoping we get back to the point where movies, it's my favorite industry. I love the movie theater. It's my happy place. So in the meantime, solid numbers for those two films. Excited to see weekend 2 for Fantastic Four. Hopefully it's got good legs. I had a great time with it. I thought my reviews, I got a non-spoiler review up. If you haven't seen it by now, go see it. I've also got my spoiler review up and some comic videos to watch. All sorts of Fantastic Four coverage on this page. And I covered the red carpet for the Hollywood Reporter, and I did the Hollywood Reporter for Superman and for Comic-Con. Check out my interviews for Comic-Con with Dexter Cast, Rob Reiner, that was insane. Dave Franco and Allison Brie for Together. Sat down with the Resident Alien cast. Sat down with so many incredible people. Like I had such a stacked interview roster talking to some absolute legends. So check those out over NTHR. Let's talk super chats, you absolute lovelies. Oh, last plug. I had 5 videos drop in the last 24 hours. This makes 6 just in the last 24 hours. So DC High Volume Batman sat down with Jeff Loeb, the writer of Long Halloween, the iconic writer, genius, the Hush, lots of things. Jeff Loeb and I sat down. Check it out over in DC's YouTube. Also sat down with the voices of Harvey Dent and Catwoman on that same episode. It's up right now as of this morning, talking all things Long Halloween. Then a couple hours later, my DC Studios Showcase video dropped from San Diego Comic-Con. Not even a week ago, those editors crushed getting this video out in a week on HBO, as well as HBO's YouTube, my DC Studios Showcase show, highlighting Peacemaker, as well as San Diego Comic-Con itself. Also, my Eyes of Wakanda review on this page is up right now. If you want to see my thoughts on Eyes of Wakanda with full spoilers, up on this page. It's the last video before this one. Also, Eyes of Wakanda reaction, my actual live watching it, is up over at Real Rejects. Then a little review over there, over at Real Rejects. Then this morning, Capes and Cowls, breaking down all the news before the Spider-Man news broke from the week with Christian Harloff and Winston Marshall. This is video 6 since Thursday morning. This is why I'm tired, but I love you, lovelies. Please subscribe to this page. I want to get this page big enough that I could only have 6 jobs. I currently have 8 jobs. So I'm tired, and I love that I get this work, and I appreciate it. But I'd love this page to grow. So please subscribe if you'd be so kind. All right, let's see what we got here, super chat wise, which also help immensely. Thank you for the super chats. These I read 50 to 70 comics a week for free. So this helps balance that a bit, which I appreciate. Dan V900 says, excited to see the iconic Punisher Spider-Man cover shot. Me too, man. I think that's coming. Thank you for the super chat. I totally agree. Yes, Dan V900. Christian Unpronounceable. Long weekend up here in Canada. Just want to spread the love. I appreciate that very much. I am sorry you're having a long weekend up there. Oh, long weekend, probably a good thing. Probably a little vacation, hopefully. Not like it's a long weekend. Enjoy the long weekend, or I'm sorry it's a long weekend. Whichever direction that's going. Thank you very much, Christian Unpronounceable. All right. Let's see what's next. So many lovely super chats in here coming through. Alan Smithy, much appreciated, good sir. Alan says, love that Brad Pitt pick. I didn't call him Tyler Durden because the other guy's Tyler. Brad plays himself in that movie. There's Brad Pitt movie marquee in it. Do you remember what that movie it was for? Was it 7 years in Tibet or whatever that movie was? 5 years in Tibet, some amount of years in Tibet. Was it about being in Tibet? I think that was the movie poster that was in there. I might be crossing that over with 7, but I think it was the Years in Tibet movie that had the poster. I've always called Ed Norton's character Jack, and then Tyler Durden being Brad Pitt. But the book doesn't have a name for the narrator, which is a lot of fun. Read the book if you haven't. It's exceptional. And yeah, Fight Club. Love this film. Big Busta. I'm glad Marvel is still using the Giacchino theme. I am too. He is a genius. I got to interview him on the Fantastic Four red carpet. He is an absolute delight. I think I might run that on this page because THR hasn't used it yet and I want it. So keep an eye out for some of that. Hopefully dropping. Spidey Sensei 72. Thank you very much, Big Busta. And thank you very much, Spidey Sensei. House Fund donation. Thank you. And let me know if you want a custom Voice of Ireland shirt. We watched Eyes of Wakanda, and I'm still not fully voice backed, but I didn't talk for a couple hours. I've been drinking a lot of honey for the last week. I've been taking menthol little lozenges, and it's starting to help, but I had no voice for 3 days. This is the best I've sounded in a very long time. So I said I was the throat of Ireland in the Eyes of Wakanda. Voice of Ireland shirt, maybe coming soon. That's a fun, cheeky idea. Thank you very much, Spidey Sensei. Kenson says, FYT, 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 Koi Pond. I agree. I appreciate it very much for the Koi Pond. Kenson, thank you. Connor Mullis, we're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to do a little bit of news, and then we're going to do comics, and then we're going to wrap out of here. We are killing it today. 200 and plus of y'all in here. I appreciate it very, very much. Connor Mullis, Coy, you seem drained. Oh. The timing on that. Oh, I'm the tiredest I think I've ever been without being sick. You know, when you're like sick and your body just feels like it's heavy and your bones feel too big and you're just like, ugh. I'm that without the sick. Like I feel physically well, but I'm so tired. I feel empty. So yes, I am drained is the word. I feel like Downey at the end of Endgame. Mental health is important. I agree. And I have not been taking care of mine. I'm saying no to as much as I can in August. I'm literally just, unless it's a good paycheck, not even a decent paycheck, unless it's good. Like I'm not accepting my usual. I need the rest more than I need anything. So I'm taking as much time as I can in August to recover. In July, I had Superman, Fantastic Four, San Diego Comic-Con, my family visit, and worked 8 jobs. That's not true. 7, because I did not work in my Patreon. By the way, Patreon, if you guys want to read all the comics that I liked that weren't my top 9, I rate every single comic and movie that I watch or read that month for $5. My Patreon's $5. So if you guys want to support that way, Patreon's awesome. And it's literally like the best way to support me is I'm reading all these comics. If you want to know what I thought of the comics outside the top 9, or if you want to know what I thought of movies outside of the ones I did reviews of, literally, I want to make it very cost productive. $5 over at Patreon. I did not update my Patreon in July. I was so busy. So now I'm back to 8. but that is one of my jobs that I did not do in July. So 7 jobs in July. But check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Coy Jandreau for all sorts of stuff. Mental health is important. That's where I left off. Hang in there, dude. Never forget you're amazing. Hopefully a nice break soon. Hey, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to take a break. I still have so much Real Reject stuff to do. I still want to keep this page moving. I still have some THR stuff and some DC stuff and some other stuff, but I'm trying to breathe. So I appreciate that very dearly. Thank you. Ant-Mans says, Coy, why does Marvel Studios keep leaving DD out of the movies? His show could get canceled because the mainstream audience doesn't watch it. Putting DD in the movies would help. Thoughts? I don't know if they're licensing things because technically they only have Matt Murdock in No Way Home. I don't know if there's like a legal issue with Daredevil. I don't know what the Netflix expiration. I don't know anything legal wise. I'm wondering if that's part of it. I'm hoping he is in Brand New Day like I had read before they changed it. I would love that, but that is the question. I'd love to see him in a movie. I'm excited for Born Again Season 2 because I thought what Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead were able to do with Born Again Season 1, blending an old show with their new footage and making the best episodes, I think, were theirs. I'm excited for Season 2, but I would also love to see him in a movie. I'm a big old Daredevil guy, and thank you for the super chat, Ant-Mans. I hope so. Dan V900. Unfortunately, Ultimate Spider-Man ends in December with 24. Endgame was the signal of the end. I'm honestly done reading the Ultimate Universe once Ultimate Spider-Man wraps up. I did not realize it was over. That's crazy. I thought it was just a like a season finale. Like I thought they were just wrapping up a beat of it. I didn't realize. I mean, at least it's been very consistent, but that's a bummer. Yeah, that's sad to hear. I'm gonna keep reading until then and see what happens next. But if that is the end, that is a bummer because I really, really enjoy Ultimate Spider-Man quite a bit. All right, last one, and then we're going to talk about some comics. Connor Shamik says, when do you think we'll get a Fantastic Four sequel? That is a good question. Thank you, Connor. I think, they need to look at how much this one makes. And then I think, I think it needs to clear 500 million because of marketing and cost. And then I think they need to look at what that looks like for making a sequel and when. I think the movie takes place, light spoilers, this is pretty known, but the movie takes place in another universe. I think it's a really good opportunity to have the fish out of water element of them in a different universe in a sequel. But I think that'll probably be after Secret Wars. But that will be time will tell. I don't know, but I think it'll be probably like 2028, 2029. I'd guess. I mean, we're getting a trilogy with those characters. We're getting them in Doomsday. We're getting them in Secret Wars. We're about to see them every year, which is great. So just a matter of time for them in their own movie again, but probably 2028 or so, I'd guess. All right, you lovelies. We talked box office. We talked lots of news. Actually, not going to talk about Variety's 54 Marvel properties. I was going to compare to mine before there was a big Spider-Man story. I was going to compare my ranking of 54 Marvel properties to theirs, but I haven't had time to rank mine. I was just going to go like, I'd put this higher, I'd put this lower. Eyes of Wakanda makes 55, but if you guys are curious, Variety ranked all 54 properties before Eyes of Wakanda, and I agree with some of it. And yeah, we will see. Time will tell. All right, you lovelies, let's talk about the comics themselves. These are my favorite comics from the week of July 16th. And the end of the show is going to be previewing the comics that dropped this week, 2 days ago on Wednesday, July 30th. My favorite comics that dropped. And remember, if you guys want to see everything outside of these 9, the other stuff I read every week leading up to this, please check out my Patreon. That is a good way to support me and also a good way to get a lot of inexpensive data. All right. First up, my favorite comics of the week in alphabetical order. I keep hitting this light. My favorites in alphabetical. First up is Absolute Batman number 10. This is going to be the introduction of Absolute Bane. This is continuing the insanity from Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. If you like Ultimate Batman, boy, oh boy, does it get crazy with Ultimate Bane. Check this one out. Next up, we got Batman and Robin Year One. This is art from Chris Samney, who is a genius. This is written by Mark Waid, who's killing it on everything DC right now. I love how classic this book feels. It feels like an all-timer. It feels like an immediate must. It feels like a book I'm going to read in 10 years and love all over again. This book is amazing. It is the early adventures with the first Robin and Batman. Very cool story. Really digging it. Next up, one of my biggest surprises of the year, Eddie Brock Carnage. This is issue number 6. Get on this book. It's so good. Never thought this would be one of my favorite books of the year. But as you can see, it is written by Charles Soule, who wrote some of the best Daredevil stuff. Daredevil's always great. Charles Soule had some really good stuff. But what's crazy is Charles Soule brought Muse back into this issue. So Muse dancing with Carnage and Eddie Brock is fascinating. So if you like Muse and Born Again, boom, check out Eddie Brock Carnage. Then we've got Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe. I did not think this book would be as good as it is because I've liked the Godzilla DC. I've liked the Godzilla with X-Men and Godzilla. There's a lot, though. This one might be my favorite. It's written by Jerry Duggan. Jerry Duggan is not only a Boston boy, but he's probably my favorite. No, that's not fair. He's one of my favorite comedy writers, like as far as like comedic books. His Deadpool's great. His indie stuff's great. He's really good at tone. This book is great. Crypto, Last Dog of Krypton, number 2. First issue, heartwarming, lovely. Second issue, breaks your heart. If you're a dog lover, this book needs a Surgeon General's warning on it. It ends well, but it is a painful journey. Lex Luthor is a villain, and he is the villain of this book. Boy, oh boy. Next up, we've got New Gods, number 8. We're diving into all sorts of Mr. Miracle, and you know I love that character. We got Big Barda. We got The Importance of This Baby. We got beautiful art by Cable. We got Ram V writing the hell out of this crazy story. Big fan of this right here. Next up, Red Ghost, number 13. The Ghost in the Machine imprint from Image is exceptional. Highly recommend you check out Redcoat. It's only gotten better each issue. I was a little rocky on it at the beginning, but this character has really grown on me. He's an immortal. He dies and comes right back. And it's an interesting commentary on what it is to be a good person, especially throughout time. Next up, Superman Unlimited. This is from Dan Slott, the inventor of the Spider-Verse. This is him writing brand new, fresh jumping on point for Spider-Man, only 3 issues in. As you can see, the movie bringing in some influence with some crypto love. I think it's a good time, but in this universe, kryptonite is a lot more common. So it's Superman navigating a world where there's a lot of kryptonite, and that changes the dynamic quite a bit. This book surprised the hell out of me. I didn't know this was coming. Age of Revelation. This is very much an Age of Apocalypse type story, but a new character, Revelation. It is a fascinating book. It is so much fun. It is a delight. Highly recommend you check out a new universe tone. If you like Age of Apocalypse, check out Age of Revelation. And that is going to do it for my favorite 9 of the week. We had X-Men Age of Revelation number 0, Superman Unlimited number 3, Redcoat number 13, New Gods number 8, Crypto Last Dog of Krypton number 2, Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe number 1, Eddie Brock Carnage number 6, Batman and Robin Year 1 number 9, and finally Absolute Batman number 10. You can find all of those in their letter grades, as well as the other 30 or so books I read over at Patreon. That is what I'm doing after this. I'm updating my Patreon with all sorts of good stuff. And I think that is going to do it, you lovelies. Slightly shorter show, but I'm not done yet because I'm going to check on the live chat. And then I'm going to give you guys my recommendations / previews for this week's books. We've got in here Prince's Watches. Hello, good sir. Let's see. James Cook, good to see you. Big Busta, Dammy 900, a lot of classics in here. Let's see. Morgo. I hope they don't do the Bruce Banner was involved with the spider. That'd be kind of a bummer. I don't like when things are too tied in together. Ola, Jeremy Harris, Zachary Allen Lean, what up? Let's see. Christian Unpronounceable jumped in earlier. Good to see him. Ivan Soto, always good to see you. Let's see. The Gamer NJ, a lot of OGs in here. Emo Cat Dad doing the work. K Doty 88, what up? I respect your cowboy hats. Nerdy W, CJ Mello, Gaming Spy. Gaming Spy, he was confirmed up until I started the show. The article I read earlier had him. I'm gonna put a little question mark in that, and then I'm gonna change the title slightly because apparently it changed. So apologies for also being misled and misleading you. I did not mean to. Amal Jose, hello. Guys, I'm dying, so I'm actually gonna wrap a little early, but I'm gonna show you the comics this week, and then we're gonna boogie on out of here, you lovelies, because I still have more to do, and I have not stopped in literally months, so I should just rest if I have the ability to. Let's see. New releases for this week. Guys, I talked about them a couple weeks ago, but Cover Price, ran into them at Comic-Con, and they're delightful people. That website is what I use for my comic grading, for my breaking news, for all sorts of good stuff. covrprice.com. I did a little video for them. They gave me a discount code. If you use the code COY, save on your monthly, and you can also get a free few days to see if you like the site, but then you can save just using COY as a code, which is cool. I've never been a code before. Felt nice. All right, new releases for this week, the week of July 30th. We've got the books I'm definitely checking out are Ultimate Spider-Man number 19. Can't believe that's ending. I'm really bummed about that. Nightwing 2025 annual number 1. Ultimates number 14. We've also got this week Titans 2025 annual, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween number 8. We've got The Incredible Hulk 27. Flash 23, Spider-Man and Wolverine number 3, Justice League Dark Tomorrow special number 1, Assorted Crisis Events number 5. Just caught up on those first 4. What a book. Denise Camp, the writer of Ultimates. Really solid stuff. DC X Sonic the Hedgehog number 5, God's One World Under Doom number 1, Spider-Man versus the Sinister 16 number 1, The Thing number 3, Vision and Scarlet Witch number 3. Also going to be checking out Bring on the Bad Guys Loki number 1. Going to be checking out News from the Fallout number 2. Going to be checking out Werewolf by Night Blood Moon Rises number 1. I believe that is written by, that's written by Michael Giacchino, who made that incredible Werewolf by Night story. We talked about that on the red carpet. Savage Wolverine number 1, brand new Wolverine book. Gotham City Sirens Unfit for Orbit number 5. Terminator number 9. We got Sam and Twitch Case Files number 16. We got Marvel and Disney, What If Goofy Became Spider-Man number 1, because why not? And those, you lovelies, are the books I'm going to be checking out this week, except for from IDW. What If Godzilla Took on Boston? That seems specific to my interests. That is a lot of stuff. Guys, we got comics to read this week. I am reading the comics from the week of July 23rd today and tomorrow, and I'm hoping to read the books from July 30th, Sunday, and Monday, and then on Wednesday next week, I'm hoping to do another live and be all caught up. That is the dream. We will see if that happens, but I'm doing my damnedest. Check out my Eyes of Wakanda video. If you have any interest in that show, I did that review. It's not doing great numbers wise, but I don't know if the show is. So we will see. Let's do these last 2 super chats and let's boogie on out of here, you lovelies. First up, we've got Paul Oberbeck. Thank you very much, Paul. Saying, I really liked Ghost Pepper number 1. Is that a comic or is that a spice? Is that a vegetable? I like ghost peppers when I'm in the mood, but I didn't know there was a ghost pepper comic book. I will look into that, Paul. I appreciate that very much for the super chat and the knowledge. Next up, Doe Eyes for the House Fund. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. Kindness, just moments of kindness. I appreciate that very, very much. A couple questions that I saw as I was scrolling LA Comic-Con. I really only do Comic-Cons if I have panels now because of the volume of stuff I have to do and the lack of sleep. But if I have any panels, I will be going. If someone wants me to cover something, I will go. Otherwise, probably not. But maybe. I do like LA Comic-Con. It is a fun time. I would hope that I get to cover something. We will see. I miss movie fights very much. Ivan Soto. Thank you very much, Dwight Love. I try to be the man. I appreciate it. I'm not from Britain. I say lovelies because I want more women to feel comfortable on comic book pages. And I feel like they're very men focused. And so lovelies is like, there's not a lot of, I think of dude, man, and guys as like non-denominational or whatever the fuck. But some people are like, guys, that's only for guys. And I'm like, lovelies. So that's where lovelies came from. But I like that everyone gets to be lovely when they hear it. They get to be welcomed to the lovelies. Yeah, streams, these are chill. Thanks, Public Outlaw. I try to have a little chill stream. I appreciate that. All right, see, take care of your lovelies. And Joseph Ashley with the comment to end us off. Please don't coy lapse from live. Nerdy W. Yeah, I want people to feel welcome in here. This page is like 80% dudes according to the analytics, and I want women to feel like they can vibe out in comic stores and enjoy comics. Oh, Todd, yes. Todd Stephen Burrows just reminded me. Guys, you know the DC exclusive comic that you got if you went to Comic-Con? This was the DC exclusive, a Dark Victory special edition. Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale, brand new cover. This is for DC High Volume, which is now adapted for audio, which is a show I host interviews on. Well, I knew this comic was going to be at Comic-Con. What I didn't know is that when you got this comic, and you opened it. Look at that beautiful Tim Sale art. Look at this discussing high volume Batman. Hell yeah. Scan that QR code, listen to it. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's anywhere you stream your pods, right? Like, this is dope. It's a word for word translation of classic Batman comics into a radio play. It is awesome. I knew this was coming, right? I thought this was dope. I did not realize this was coming. Hey, I was in the DC exclusive comic book given out at Comic-Con. Look at you, boy. I'm really proud of this. So that is me in the comic that was offered at San Diego Comic-Con. In case you forgot who I was while I turned the page, it's me. I think it's pretty cool. So very honored. I think that's really rad. I appreciate you guys supporting me, watching me, sharing my videos and stuff, because it means I get to live this dream right here. So I appreciate all of you lovelies very much for allowing this to happen. Check out the show. New episode dropped this morning. One of my 5 shows, 6 with this one of the day. Interviews over at DC High Volume. Check them out at DC YouTube. All right. That is how we're going to end the show. You know, I if I was a businessman, if I thought better with branding, I would have opened the show with this when we had 300 people in here. But you guys get it at the end because you're my loyal ride or die lovelies. I appreciate the loyal lovelies of the Koi Pond. All right. That's it. I'm out of here. We did a 50-minute show, even exhausted. I appreciate you very much. I will see you guys Wednesday if all goes well. I'm going to watch some indie films this weekend. I'm going to go see Together to support Dave and Allison. I'm going to go see Oh Hi because that looks funny to me and my fiance wants to see it. And I'm going to probably not review those because indie reviews don't do as well. But if they're great, I will try to share from some roots. I hear Together is fucking amazing. It's got 100% Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm going to go check those out. Naked Gun I might review. I think I missed the window though. Like if you don't get a review up before the movie's out, it just dies on the vine, which is a bummer. But I need to see Naked Gun this weekend as well. So I'm going to try to get some rest and watch some movies and just vibe. Michael Shanks. Yes, Michael Shanks is awesome. I interviewed him for the Hollywood Reporter. Check those interviews out. All right. I'm done plugging stuff. I'm done talking. I just like hanging out with you guys. Appreciate y'all. That is going to do it. Much love. Do something awesome this weekend. Take care of yourselves. Don't exhaust yourself to the level I have. It's foolish. But I do it for y'all because I appreciate you. All right. Much love. See you soon. Read some comics. Bye.